Alright, so yeah, DOS. What are your thoughts on DOS has?
It certainly has its moments, especially on Tyrannical, I feel. Dealer Cyaxa can be a pain, especially if you don't have proper management of the lightning debuff. But considering it's these two teams, I expect that everything will go quite well.
Especially on +10, yeah. You think? I think the power of DOS is you can do some truly outrageously large pulls, and you're just laughing. You can put everything on the boss. They could pull the fact that actually no, they couldn't because there's a mechanic, there's a door, but you can pull ludicrously large pulls here, and you can see Team Goat doing the meta strategy right now, which is just row skip to her car. I might have wanted to see them try a huge pull where they pull everything to the end of this corridor because, you want to try it out. But I think doing the normal way, we'll see if they do anything special later on. Just killing all these mobs now and getting that hero off as quickly as possible because, you want to have as many heroes as you can possibly get.
And regarding doing that massive pull, I'm not 100% sure, unless depending on how exact their count is, it could get a bit messy if the Sons of Akar were to transform, or like if the Devoted ads were to transform into Sons of Akar.
Yeah, I do think that would be a risk, but I think it could be potential because you've got Revival from the Monk, you've got the Guardian Druids, you've got the big AoE, you've got the Grips too, the DK. But you can still see them doing a big pull into the boss now, and you want to see them unlock that, and it just makes it a little bit faster, right? Because you can just cleave down everything as quickly as possible.
Yeah, exactly. And while they're doing that, or finishing off the big pull right onto a car, we see that Goat has opted for a little bit safer pull, which is probably a good idea, I think, or like, yeah.
Yeah, I think playing it safe if you're not 100% sure is definitely a good idea. I did hear that they were having issues getting a DOS key at some point, so they might have been just like, maybe they didn't have as much time to practice or talk about this one as much. I'm not sure if that's a thing. Something Raz mentioned to me, but he heard they were struggling to get a DOS key, so maybe they didn't have as much prep time to really talk about it. They were just trying to get it done as quickly as possible. But you can still see they're doing well. They're doing the pulls that you expect to make, and they're still doing, excellent in terms of progress so far. But you can see the, so the first mob in this group has an inspired mob, which means those Sons of Akar come out a lot more frequently, and you saw them pop on Team GBA, but they dealt with it very well. They got them all down. It's really, really good to see it.
Yeah, so the only thing, or regarding those two Sons of Akar, when they have been popped, they only give half count, but they do also come with a nasty stacking buff on themselves that does more and more damage, similar like you just as the mobs on the actual Hakar boss itself.
And you also have them leave that big, painful AoE when they die, which can cause a bit of issues.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'd like to see GBA pull this mask into the next pull, but I think they're just going to try and kill it now because you can't really move on this casting rage. So maybe they're just doing that. Oh yeah, now you can see Raz pulling it towards the next pack.
Over here on Goat, we do also have at least one Devoted ad popping into a Son of Akar. I am unable to see. Did the second one get popped there as well? Yeah. You can see two Sons of Akar right there.
And I like the woe pull. I like the woe kill because it just means you can move a lot faster. And in these keys, you want to move faster. You want to go fast.
Yeah, and you do also have that extra 15% to DR.
Yeah, and it unlocks those big, powerful pulls. I'd be curious to see if they want to take the mask here, but it doesn't look like they're going to do that. It's probably in a bad position. They're just going to kill this pack normally, which is what you want to see. But you see Team GBA just rocketing forward, just going as fast as they can.
Let's see if someone someone getting low by the slams, but they made a throw.
I'm used to those slimes one-shotting you. Didn't realize they wouldn't one-shot you on this key level.
Who will get hit by the oil here? Let's see. No one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we'll see. Infract getting stuck on a wall. You love to see it.
There I do also believe you could see a little bit of quaking doing work, helping out the enemy mobs in the dungeon.
Yeah.
In GBA.
And we saw I think Doom it was get firelocks at one point. Quaking is something that can cause a bit of issues like that. It can, just frustrates casters. As a hunter, I don't know why about that. Imagine being a spellcaster and needing to be worried about interrupts. But it can, if you're a balanced druid, you get convoked and then you get quaked in the middle of it. It just sucks. No one fucking likes quaking. It's just annoying. But yeah, you can see both teams handling it very well for the most part.
Ooh. Malafast getting super low here from the Blade Storm, I think.
Yeah.
Barely surviving.
Blade Storm can get a lot of aggro very quickly. But, credit to Sakana and the Veso Shaman, I can't quite see the name of it. It's a very small, Benchy. Glitchy, okay. I pronounced the name incorrectly, but both of them doing a very good job.
And we are seeing Goat getting into the same part here, trying to avoid some slimes. We will see if anyone is going to pay the fee. No,
they've got the engineering. They didn't have to do it. They can just go for it. You guys see it.
GBA had the engineering as well, but I do believe we had two of the members being a bit brave. What were you saying, Peanuts?
They just. I can't remember what I was saying. I was going to fake it, but I can't remember. I've got a terrible memory. But you can see that Team GBA are killing now the mobs that they skipped before. I wonder why they'd skipped them before. I suppose. I was curious. I wonder what the benefit is of killing them after the boss. Maybe waiting for a better mask route?
Cooldowns are just lining up better this way.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you want to save the cooldowns for the big AoE pulls. But also what I was going to say actually is you'll probably notice that the Team GBA probably struggle a little bit less with the aggro. That's not just because Raz is a good tank, because he's terrible, but they also have a hunter who will be very good at misdirection to all those big pulls. You just throw a couple of bombs, throw misdirection, you're never going to lose aggro. And that really helps, just save a couple of seconds, because, if you're throwing down Rain of Fire or you're throwing down Blade Storm, Blade Flurry, just as the tank pull, it's a bit risky, it's a bit dangerous, you get a bit aggro. And a bit aggro can kill you sometimes, but, both teams are handling that sort of stuff really well, I think.
They're just taking down Millows.
Monk just getting clutched healed here by Infrac. And Infrac is just doing that healing so well here. And it's interesting to note a different thing here, that Infrac is actually the guy who has been editing the videos for this competition. So
shout out to him.
Really awesome job.
But then you saw him get nation locked, so really he's just a terrible player. That's all I saw it's, just terrible. Only slightly made up for by the access of the spinny thing.
The spinny thing.
The spinny thing. Do you think that's why people play monks, so they just have access to a fidget spinner? In-game.
I think it might be the reason. But I mean, there's a lot of choices, though. A lot of spinning classes. That we saw the point earlier.
Yeah.
Spin to win is pretty awesome. This room looks like a place where we will see a lot of spinning.
I will see all this armor trash brought onto the boss, because Survival has uncapped AoE, you can do it.
Oh.
I want them to do it. I want them to bring it all onto the boss.
I'm pretty excited for the numbers. I have to be honest. Let's see what happens.
I think they'd try to do an poll. I would have been curious to see if they could have had everything on the boss there, because Survival does do a lot of uncapped AoE, but it is a risky poll. So I wonder if they tried it out in an experimentation run and thought it would be not. I would expect after this bit just after they nuke these mobs down, they will start pulling stuff onto the boss, because you can do some truly ludicrous pulls on the boss, even on keys like his 20s. I've done it a couple of times, and let me tell you, it's fun. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes you don't die to the boss mechanics because you're not paying attention, but pros and cons.
You just have to notice here that all of the DPSers just have their turns at absolutely pumping out DPS at the DPA here.
You can see Raz is kind of top with that one button spec thrash.
Yeah, the autistic thrashes are just killing everything. It's pretty amazing to see.
Yeah, so you can see they pulled a lot onto the mobs, and we'll see who saved cooldowns for it. And I think we have our answer, the DK saved cooldowns, because that is a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. That's too much damage. Nerf! Blizzard! But you can also see Zenobia, going nuts too. Cat also pulling high. All these classes do so well on mass AoE pulls. And you can see the exact same on Team Goat. They're doing this big pull with the urn. They've also pulled the mask onto it, which you really like to see. It's a very healing intensive pull, but they've handled it brilliantly. I don't even feel they used the urn. I think they pulled it onto the mask, which I think is such a good idea. Saves a couple of seconds. You don't have to group all the mobs around the urn, and you just nuke everything down quickly. So that's both teams doing really good pulls there. But you really wants to stretch the limits of their players, and should be proud of themselves for all that. Does anyone die to this white shit? Beware the white shit spurting from the walls. No? Brilliant.
No one died to the white shit, luckily.
Yeah.
You don't want to get hit by that.
No one wants to get hit by white shit in the face, alright? Trust me.
we should trust you.
I'm an expert, alright? And you see Team Goat, they finished the boss. I don't think they need any percentage either. They pulled enough. I wonder if they'll get the woe relic here to be a bit faster.
Just look at Malifas spinning to winning here. It's an amazing sight, to be honest.
Yeah. Are they pulling more here? Yeah, they should. So we see Team Goat here. They've saved a relic here, and what you want to do here is you want to get the woe relic. You want to nuke down all this other small trash, and then you want to go 150% speed all the way to the boss, and just to save a little bit of time running. And it's good shit. And you can see on the sorry, go ahead, Buff. We're hearing from the other team that they got the percent wrong. But I actually think this is good. I think this is a good pull. I like getting the relic because it does make you go a bit fast. I like going fast. It's fun.
I think I disagree with at this level and the amount of trash that you can pull here. It feels like if they'd like to, and then or if they would recall it, I think it would have been a lot better to just pop everything in one. But hey, hindsight.
Yeah, I can see that too. I just like going fast, to be honest. I'm a speed freak, and we can see the Team Goats here. They're doing some good pulls. They're continuing these pulls. They're not waiting for everything to die. They're just putting more and more stuff, which is a very good strategy. And it just allows them to really access, especially with Shadow Priest, who really benefits from consistent pulls. You don't want to have downtime as a Shadow Priest. You just want to keep pulling. Just keep on pulling. You want to see it.
We see DBA here pulling the last boss.
Yeah, Muzara, who I hate.
Ooh.
I don't know if any of your people did Castle Nefria, but it reminds me of a dancing boss into Castle Nefria. Shimmy left! The entire fucking fight is in my head. And I hate it. And then sometimes you're just not paying attention and you die. Which is not fun. And you can see, did they pull the Matriarch? I think they did. So you see Team Goat pull the Matriarch here, which is a big mob here. But then you should have to deal with the Hatchling. I can't remember if I saw Team GBA kill Matriarch. But the Matriarch bird is a big threat. It's really, I don't think you can CC it, so on high keys it's a bit of a risk because you want to help the tank be able to get a bit of a breathing room if he wants, but you want to see them do the big brave pulls like this, and it's what you want to see.
Yeah, and like as you mentioned, like on at the level that they're doing it, it works. But on high keys, I think it would be quite scary due to the AoE and rage coming from the matriarch, especially considering that they don't have any soother in their composition.
Yeah.
And here it looks like we'll be seeing them pull a bit of things into the boss as well.
Yeah, I like that. I like pulling some stuff into the boss here. You got to be a bit cautious with it sometimes, but you want to see it.
Yeah, and here we'll soon see Infernal pop, I believe. Yeah, right there it is. Lovely. And meanwhile, GBA does not have a lot left on Masala.
No, I think they're just killing the boss now. It should be done in a couple of seconds. And even though it might not look, they are very close here. The bosses are very near each other, and we should just see in a couple of minutes that Team GBA, not GBA, Team Goat finished Dungeon 2. And I think the shining example that both these teams have shown to everyone about how much you can do, how much you can improve, and just the fun pulls you can do in Mythic Plus sometimes when you're on a group. It's just you want to see it. As a Mythic Plus player myself, I love to see people pushing themselves. I love to see them talking about routes, doing a bit of crazy shit. You want to see it, and I think both teams should be lauded for that because they've stepped up. They've really shown themselves equals, and even though Team GBA they've obviously pulled ahead a little bit, and they've won the tournament from what we can see. It's both teams have done so well.
I have to say, I'm just a sucker for the big DPS on the meters, and both teams have pulled that off wonderfully as well in this competition. Just big numbers, big pulls, big numbers is what we like to see.
Yeah. And so Mozilla is a pretty easy boss if you do the mechanics correctly. I don't always, because I'm a bad player and I'm on a touchpad, so mistakes happen.
Touchpad God.
But it does happen, and the only issue with this boss is it can take a while. It can take a lot because you've got it, especially on these lower keys. You'll be just hanging around outside the urn for like 10 seconds after you kill the boss. Like even 20 seconds sometimes. You'll be like, oh, I've got to wait and I can't do anything. It always feels bad when you can't do anything, and that it can be an annoying boss for that reason. But it is a good boss. It's well designed. I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
Although I don't enjoy the moving. Well, I enjoy standing there and doing damage.
Yeah, it can be quite a lovely boss, I feel. One thing as well worth noting regarding Muzala, he has a sweet spot where you essentially only need to step to one side when he does the dance, and then just one
Yeah,
to the other.
You saw Doombot here, and I'm sure other players too. Most players do this. They'll take the shattered. I can't remember what the ability's called. The shattered reality thing. They'll take the portal straight away. What you can do is you can delay a little bit because, as you saw when Doombot landed there, the mob took like 1 or 2 seconds to spawn. If you just delay your going and just you can do a little bit more damage to Mozilla, which is like you say like 0.5 of a second sometimes. It can add up, it can matter, but you also want to play it safe because if you get hit by Shattered Reality, you are going to know about it, and then you're going to be told that you're garbage by all those toxic pugs. So play it safe. It's a good idea.
Is that are you speaking from experience here, or?
I've never been killed by a mechanic in Mythic Plus.
Oh, okay.
I'm flawless.
I believe you.
Flawless player.
It's the toxic pug.
I am a toxic pug.
Yeah, so one thing worth noting there, just as you mentioned regarding staying in there a little bit extra.
I'll be the rating. Good shit. It means these players aren't doing Mythic Plus as much, so you love to see that. Even in this stuff, they're really pushing themselves to do more content than they're not normally used to. And I think even though Team GBA has done really well, and obviously they've won, I think you should give a shout out to Goat. players who aren't really experienced in Mythic Plus, and people who are playing with their off rolls. They've done fantastic. Both teams have done fantastic things.
And finally, we can see here the last dungeon, GBA, they got a time of 15 minutes and 52 seconds, while GOAT got 20 minutes and 33 seconds. The total time for GBA is 58 minutes and 35 seconds for all 4 dungeons, while GOAT had 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 34 seconds.
And I think that's such a close time. 12 minutes, different pull here, different pull there. Over the course of an hour, both teams have done so well.
Yeah, definitely. And due to the format as well, if just some things would have gone differently, then who knows, GOAT could have taken it.
Well, yeah, thanks for listening to me and Barth and Haz. We've been your commentators, you've been the players and the spectators, and, big shout out to everyone involved. Raz for setting it up, or I think Raz set it up, and the team leaders, Sakana and Kat, and Infrac for doing all this editing. Everyone, big shout out to everyone. Inviting me, a garbage player, to ramble on for an hour and a half, good times.
Thank you too, Pregnance, and thank Haz. And I just have to say it's been a great honor for me to commentate in this big arena with these awesome players.
I am awesome. That's the end.